Every day, you are being exposed to countless vibrational barriers that are having a detrimental effect upon your health, upon your well being, and even your levels of consciousness. But today, what I do is I want to show you how sound can help your system stay coherent, centered, and clear, and ultimately help you to rise above all the static and noise from these hidden frequencies that are in our environment. Hi, I'm Mark Romero, and 20 years ago, my life changed tremendously when a former top consultant to NASA discovered harmonizing frequencies in my music and kind of set me off on this journey, ultimately in a quest to help people to rise above all these discordant frequencies that are having such detrimental effects upon our energy and ultimately impacting how it is that we move through life, our levels of health and well-being, and ultimately our levels of consciousness. So, way back when, I get invited to a lecture. This is about 20 years ago on quantum physics, energy, health, and vitality. I mean, at this particular point in time in my journey, I'd never heard of quantum physics. I never really even thought to look at myself as anything more than what I could experience through my senses and who I saw in the mirror. But that night I realized that who we are is just the tip of the iceberg of what we are. We are these magnificent expressions of this field of energy that's unlimited in its potential. And unfortunately, through all of the miscreations that we've put into our air, our food, and our water, countless chemicals, all kinds of waves being produced by our technology, what these scientists showed me that night is that we're actually disrupting our field of energy and putting ourselves into a state of incoherence. Therefore, we're struggling with stress. We're struggling with inability to focus, a major increase in neurological disorders, all kinds of physical challenges from having compromised energy, ultimately impeding how it is that we function in life. And so I was completely blown away. But what really blew me away was when they had me come up and start playing halfway through the program. And that night, I witnessed how music, sound, had this ability to penetrate and permeate listeners' bodies and energy fields, ultimately helping them to align their energy, resulting in dramatic decreases in stress, an increase in physical energy, strength, flexibility, endurance, coordination, and balance, all instantly enhanced. Witnessed it there that night, even though my mind didn't believe it. I could not argue with what I was actually visibly seeing. And some years later, after that, you've probably heard me share about this quote before if you've heard me on this channel. I came across this quote and it said, people think we need to seek enlightenment, right? Haven't we been told that in our spiritual quest? We need to go sit in a cave for 30 years and become enlightened. But the quote said, no, we are enlightened. That is our natural state. What is unnatural is the state that we have been put into. It's not about seeking it. It's about rising above the vibrational barriers and the limiting belief system that are holding us in a state of unenlightenment. See, you already are the masterpiece. You already are divine. You already are powerful. You already have the ability to shape and shift matter and energy and ultimately compose the life of your dreams. The reason why you're struggling is because you are misaligned or in a state of incoherence, thanks to these 80,000 man-made chemicals in our air, food, and water, and 5G, 4G, EMFs, all the different things that we are exposed to that have this tendency to create this field of static and noise, disconnecting us, almost like from going from cable modem back to good old phone modem, if you remember those days, where the screen just unfolded very slowly. We would go crazy today if that was the case. But what if sound could instantly null and void the negative effects of those vibrational barriers in the environment and begin to align you with that powerful expression of life that you truly are? So what I want to do is I want to take us into a little process. But I want to start off the process by you observing yourself. So just take a couple deep breaths. Notice where your stress level is. Maybe if you could measure it on that 0 to 10 scale, how you feel in this moment. Maybe you got crazy stuff going on at work. Maybe the kids are driving you crazy, whatever it might be. Just observe, not with judgment, just observe. What's the first number that shows up? And so what I want to do is I want to go into this process, and you only have to do one thing, and that is to breathe and to focus upon your breath. And we'll meet up on the other side. So just take some nice deep breaths. Breathing deeply. Allowing yourself to let go. To release. Take another deep inhale. Take another deep inhale. Just take another deep, slow inhale. Gently let it go. And just take a moment to observe yourself. How do you feel? Even notice the slightest shift. Whatever you notice is the beginning of something. It's the beginning of coherence. It's the beginning of tuning your strings. When you are in coherence, when you are in alignment, you open up to the ability to play more beautiful music. In other words, create the success, the happiness, the joy, the fulfillment of your purpose, all the things that you could possibly imagine of doing and being in your life. It all begins through that state of coherence. So this is a powerful tool, and it only takes minutes a day. In fact, I want you to just take another deep breath and take a look at that 0 to 10 scale, whatever you measured before, and notice where you're at right now. Even the slightest shift matters. You see, we don't need to take long sessions. We don't need to sit in front of your computer with your headphones on, listening to music all day. Simply taking little 5-minute moments to breathe in the notes, to allow your energy to just be and listen. You can begin to create a cumulative effect of aligning your energy, of tuning your strings so that you can truly play more beautiful music throughout your life experience, so that you can begin to lessen the stress levels, improve your physical energy, enhance your mental acuity, access higher levels of your creativity and intuition, and even put yourself into an optimal state for self-healing. And of course, be better equipped to handle the twists and turns and the ups and downs of the human experience that we know most assuredly are going to come. So if you like to go deeper and you want to take a little, stick your toe in a little 5-minute plunge, so to speak, to begin to see what can open up when you start shifting your energy, in the description below, there is a link to a free gift. Download the track. It also comes with a little handbook to help you to monitor and look at yourself and begin this journey of putting yourself into a coherent state. And what we begin to realize is, regardless of the static and noise, regardless of all the things that we're exposed to in our environment, through potentially toxic people that are in our airspace, so to speak, we can rise above the static and noise of the modern day world and begin to reclaim the truth of who and what we are. And I am so happy to say, and honored to say, that sound can be a profound tool to begin to help you to find your true north, so that you can begin to create something more extraordinary, something more wonderful, something more fully aligned with the unlimited potential that's within each and every one of us. So I'd love for you to share this video with anybody that you feel that might have an interest. Love to hear your comments in the space below. And then, of course, if you have not hit that subscribe button, I'll be sharing more musical notes, more mindsets, more guided processes, all designed to help bring you back into alignment and help you further unveil the masterpiece that's within. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Have a happy and harmonious day. Take care.